We are going to talk to Ms. Tracy Blackman, who teaches cosmetology for us. And I think she's here. Can you hear me, Ms.
I
Blackman?
can Yep. Hi, how are
Okay.
you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good.
Your hair
Um,
looks beautiful.
oh, thanks. It hasn't been cut since March.
I was just talking to Miss Reinard about how even in times like this, everyone still needs a haircut. So it's a pretty good gig to have.
Yeah, I'm trying to get all my customers at the salon and tonight by
Oh,
tomorrow because we might get shut down again. I'm in
right.
Niagara County, so we've been open.
Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah. So, I mean, that's good that you can still kind of get them in. I do see a couple people popping in. So we won't start
Give them
like
a minute.
I don't want to start too early, but we'll give everybody just a little second. And you teach out of the Kenton Center.
Yes, cosmetology out of Kenton Center.
Fantastic, fantastic. We do have just a little background for anyone who's in now. Each center has cosmetology, so it's not like just at one center. So Kenton Potter and Harkness, and if I'm not mistaken, there's at least two cosmetology teachers at each center, except for Harkness. Harkness has three.
Correct.
Yes. So there's plenty of cosmetology to go around. That doesn't mean that it's not hard to get into. So it's a really popular program. All
And we
right.
need to fill it up.
Right? Who doesn't love a full class? All right. So what do you think? Let's just roll with it?
Yeah, we can.
Cool. So anyone that's in this, just so you know, I taught cosmetology as well. So I might ask Ms. Blackman some very specific questions. Okay, Ms. Blackman, can you give me like an overview of cosmetology?
Cosmetology is a 2-year program. Each year you earn 405 hours with perfect attendance. We have a summer program in between junior and senior year, 95 hours. And the 95 hours is usually an additional cost, and it's been around $600. And it's taught during the month of July, and usually I'm the one teaching it. And it's all hands-on for the summer program. The school year is bookwork and hands-on, but the summer program is just hands-on, and the students are just earning hours. Every student needs to purchase a kit. The kit's $125, and the check is written to Erie One BOCES, check or money order. And black solid dress shoes, where they covers the top of the foot, the front of the toe, the back of the foot, leather type black dress shoes, and black dress pants. And I think that's it. I guess and we have bookwork, lots of bookwork, junior year, lots of hands-on senior year. So the senior year is a lot more hands-on, more fun, clinical in the senior year.
Cool, cool, cool. So for anyone that doesn't know, one girl, poor Jessica, she's going to hear this again. She's been in here this whole time. But can you explain for anyone that doesn't know the hours system? Like when we say you have to have so many hours, what does that actually translate to?
Okay, so you need 1,000 hours to get your cosmetology license to be able to even sit to take the cosmetology New York State exams. You'll take a written exam and a practical hands-on exam, and you have to have 1,000 hours before you're even allowed to take that. So our school, you're only in school for 2 hours and 15 minutes a day. Perfect attendance is highly recommended because anything that you miss during that time, you lose hours or minutes. And I highly recommend every single time come to school because you're only earning 810 hours over the 2-year period. And then if you take the option 95, which is just a choice, you're still not going to be at the 1,000 hours. So anything after that, you'll have to pay for on your own. And I could range anywhere from $10 and up per an hour.
Right. And are there opportunities for kids to get extra hours like through other activities or other means?
Yes, you could do additional hours. Skills USA, we have a club at school. I also am at my school at the Kenton Center. I'm the person that takes care of the Skills USA. You could participate in volunteering and doing activities throughout that and earn hours up to 35 hours over time. We have we have gone to nursing homes and painted nails. We have done a lot of like, let's see, the ice show. We've gone to the ice show, worked the ice show, did the hair, makeup for the ice show. I'm just trying to think of some of the things that we could still do that might still happen.
Right.
Because some things have totally eliminated. But the ice show is really nice. It's over 2 days. The kids get about 6 or 12 hours, depending on how much they put into it.
Yeah.
And they do the hair and makeup for Saba.
Very cool.
For
So
Shining
there are
Stars.
opportunities for.
Plenty of opportunities for us to get extra hours for free.
Oh, fantastic. I mean, that's always the goal, right? Is to be able to leave high school with a career and no student loan debt or anything like that, unless you choose to go to school. But that's an epic opportunity for anyone that knows that they want to cause.
I usually have at least one student a year that gets the 1,000 hours.
That's awesome. So it is possible.
It's possible.
It's possible. So speaking of like going on to college, what schools is cosmetology articulated with?
We're articulated with Bryant and Stratton. The students get 9 credits for Bryant and Stratton. In between the junior and senior year, Bryant and Stratton offers our students an opportunity to take 2 college courses that are transferable to any colleges around. So they have like a list of 4 or 6 of them for the students to choose from. They could pick 2. They're 100% free. If they do well in those courses, our students generally get scholarships. I had a student that got 2 A's in both of the classes in between her junior and senior year. She had a scholarship, $45,000. We had a nice dinner. I got invited to the dinner with her parents.
Very nice.
And she had $45,000 for Stratton to use, and she took it. She used it.
Good
And then
for her.
she did her master's. I think somewhere else she did her master's, but she used the Bryant Stratton and did the business program.
That's fantastic. So it's, you leave with a career and a full ride to college, which
Yes.
is awesome. Very cool. So I know you talked about like a kit and the uniform, and I know that the kits were just like completely overhauled, and they're super awesome now. What do students get when they get the kit and they use it in class, right?
Yep. This year the kits are really nice because last year we didn't have enough supplies for them if we were working remotely. Now our students have enough to work. I have students right now that are able to do a full perm at home. They're able to do a full roller set and a comb out at home. I'm not letting them cut hair because I'm afraid they might harm themselves on accident without supervision, direct supervision. But they have a color kit in there. So if I have juniors right now. So if they were seniors, I could have them practice color application, retouch or full color. I could have them do foils. They have rollers, perm rods, scissors, thinning shears, all the combs that they need, clips, sectioning clips, mannequin, stand, pretty much everything that they need to be able to learn for 2 years.
That's amazing.
Oh, they have a curling iron this year too, which is really nice.
Very nice. For anyone that doesn't know how many perm rods it takes to do a full head perm, it's a lot. So the fact that you can do that at home while we're remote is pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, it's been very nice. And we actually did piggyback perm wrap, so it's 2 perm rods per strand. And they needed to use a different color when it got towards the end, but that was fine. And they did a wonderful job. So it's hard to know exactly how well they did, but they all looked good.
Right, we're learning, right? We're all learning.
Yeah, they did. They did nice.
So I know we talked about the junior year being a little bit more like theory heavy, and then the senior year being just a stitch more hands-on heavy. Can you talk about what you learned in junior year and then in senior year?
Sure. Junior year, we learned 24 chapters. We learn about the history of cosmetology, life skills, professional image, communicating for success. infection control, anatomy and physiology, skin, nails, properties of the scalp, chemistry, electricity, principles of hair design, shampooing and scalp care, hairstyling, braiding, perm wrapping, hair removal, facials, makeup, manicuring, and pedicuring. That's all done in our junior year. So they
Wow.
pretty much could go into their senior year and actually start working on some people during their senior year. Senior year is only 8 chapters that we complete, and it's mostly review after that. So they do hair extensions, and I teach, and I think most of my colleagues do, we do teach the current hair extensions that are used in the salons, which most of us teach the Babe, where they're tape-in hair extensions. They're really nice, so, and that's very popular, very easy for the students to learn, and the students can actually make money right out of school because they can do that. We teach wigs, chemical relaxers, chemicals to the perming. We don't always teach some teachers have enough time to teach chemicals during junior year, some do not. Hair coloring, acrylic nails, gel nails, salon business. We actually create a salon business, a whole salon business. So the students, I have had students actually leave my program after doing our salon business project and use that when they have opened up their own salons.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. That's really awesome. So I just had a question. Hang on. It'll come back to me. When it comes to like you say hair, you've been talking about hair, you've been talking about skin, and you've been talking about nail services. So what are those all encompassed in cosmetology?
Yes.
Okay.
So a cosmetology license is it is an umbrella over hair, nails, and skin. So you do not need separate licensing to do a facial. You do not need separate licensing to do waxing. You do not need to do separate licensing to do acrylic nails or gel nails because it's all included under the same umbrella as your cosmetology license, which is really nice because, I mean, if you're already in school for that anyways, you could do everything in the salon and you are more marketable and you can make more money and you can find something that you like more and focus on those areas.
Right. So if you aren't really into hair, but you want to be an esthetician, this can still be a program for you.
Absolutely.
Or if
Absolutely.
you want to only be like you only want to focus on nails, you don't want to do anything else, you can still take this program.
Yes, you could still take it. And actually, the girl at our salon, right now we're not doing facials because of the pandemic, but our girl is a licensed cosmetologist from a BOCES program, and she's our facialist. That's
Oh,
what
look at that.
she likes to do facials. She does all our facials. Our nail techs, sometimes we have a nail tech that's a licensed cosmetologist and just focuses on nails. We currently have our girls do both, most of them.
Gotcha. So, just backtracking back to hours, when we talk about hours, what if a student doesn't get all of their hours? They can go on to workforce, right?
Right. So if a student doesn't earn all their hours, so just say junior year, there's a death in the family, or they had to take a vacation because that was pre-planned or whatever, and they're short maybe 2, 3, 400 hours. Maybe they were sick. They could take that. Our Erie One BOCES has a wonderful adult program, and I highly recommend it to every one of my students because it's the teachers are excellent. The students transition really easy into the Erie One BOCES adult program, and it's it's a really nice program. They also have financial aid for families that maybe do not have the money up front, so they can get financial aid, student loans, that kind of stuff to pay for the additional hours. So it's a really good program, and if they don't qualify for financial aid, it's probably the most affordable one all of Western New York.
Yes, for sure. I can attest to that because I went to a private school, private hair school. Um, and I just want to throw it out there. If anyone has any questions while we're talking, please feel free to put them in the chat and we'll address them while we're going through, okay? So like what is obviously with the pandemic happening, salons are shut down right now, unfortunately. But in a perfect world where we weren't learning remotely and you and I would be in the same room, right? What is the job market after graduation? Like what are the tracks that kids can take?
Right now, we have more jobs available than hairdressers,
Yeah.
stylists.
You're right.
So um, it's very, they'll have a job. I highly recommend, we do an internship and almost all of our students get hired right after internship. And I believe if once we're able to go back into the salons again, the students will be able to go into internships and the salons are hiring. They're called all the time looking for graduates to hire. They want to hire students that are fresh out of school because they want to train them so they mold into their salon and they can teach them the way they want their salon to be. So students generally go in as an assistant, and as an assistant, they learn by watching, helping around, mixing up colors, blow drying the hair. Sometimes they do the manicures and pedicures to start, and then they transition into being a full stylist in the salon. And our students are extremely successful. Every salon, I couldn't tell you, I have phone calls all the time to hire. So the job market is open for everyone.
Yeah,
Plenty of jobs available, more than
that's awesome.
more than we have students.
Right. For no, for sure. So one of the questions is, what types of hair will students learn how to do? All textures, all types? What do we focus on?
They'll learn how to do every type of hair. Curly hair, straight hair. Well, actually, senior year we teach them how to relax straight hair, so they'll learn how to straighten it. I was very fortunate. I have been able. I straighten hair a lot. I do keratin treatments in the salon, and I have done chemical relaxers, and they learn all of that. Braiding, so all types of textures of hair.
Yeah,
Every texture of hair.
yep,
Yeah.
hair additions and all of that stuff too is part of the curriculum, right?
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So we go across the board with everything, really, um, which is pretty awesome to learn every single facet of cosmetology. Um, for anyone that didn't hear me say I was a cos teacher, it's kind of weird to ask these questions to Miss Blackman because I know the answers, but I know you guys don't. So let's keep going. Um, so we talked about job market and we talked about going off to college. And did we talk about Bryant and Stratton?
We did.
We did. Okay, good. So there are some, I mean, you're in touch with alumni, I'm sure, that have gone on
Yeah.
to do awesome things. What do a lot of our successful cosmetology alumni go on to do?
I have quite a few that own salons. I have a salon, actually, Deluso Salon in Cheektowaga, that one of my students owns. It's a really nice salon. I have a salon, student that owns a salon in California. I have a student that's a teacher, actually a director of a school in California.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, she makes like 4 times as much as me. Um, But yeah, she's doing very well. I have students that are in salons all over. I have students that are doing microblading,
Oh, okay.
eyelash extensions, and they usually come in too, and they'll do presentations for us.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of chair renters, students that are chair renters. Actually, one of my students was in the news recently for her salon getting shut down because of the pandemic.
Ugh.
So she owns Crown Salon. That's a nice salon.
Oh, downtown. They do a lot of like awesome color stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And she's actually the girl that owns that has been in magazines all over. She's fantastic. She's really, really a talented cosmetologist.
Is that
So,
Chelsea?
Erin Mosier.
Erin Mosier. Yes. Okay. Yep.
Erin
Awesome.
Mosier and her sister Grace. I had both of them.
Very
So
cool.
they're both there. Yep.
So you have a lot of connections with essentially people that can give our students the opportunity to work.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I walk into a salon sometimes on my internship and I don't always recognize people. And I hear, "Hi, Miss Blackman." I'm like, recognize your face, but I can't remember your name.
Right.
But yeah, very, very, very successful students.
Yeah, that's part of being a cosmetologist is you're a face person. not a
Mhm.
name person necessarily.
Yeah,
So you mentioned lashes and microblading, and we do not have those in our curriculum, right?
we do not, but that's um, they could take classes after graduation for those, and they're
Okay.
just classes. They're just courses. It's not an entire, it's not like 1,000 hours. It's just a course, like a 2-day course. You pay the money. Some of them are like a $200, $300 cost, but you pay for the course, and it usually comes with all the supplies you need to do those services. So
Okay.
for the lash extensions, it comes with all the lashes, the glue, all the necessary things to get you started in the course. Even
Do
if
you,
they did any advance, they can do that.
do you need to have your cosmetology license to take those courses, or can you do
Yeah.
them right out of school?
No, you have to, I believe you have to have your license to do that because you have to touch people.
Right.
So I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think you have to be licensed cosmetologist to take those courses.
I think it would be fair to assume that a really good class or good course or certification program for lashes or microblading would require you to have some working knowledge of cosmetology and skin, um, and like hair addition application and things like that. That's my assumption. Um,
Yes.
but we do have another question. And do the kids earn a certificate after this, or do they need to go on to another college level type program? So we talked about hours. Um, and by coming to our school and taking the course, as long as you have like great attendance, perfect attendance, and you're on time, you earn 405 hours per year, your junior and senior year. Um, that being said, that does not get you to the 1,000 hours that you need. And just to lay it all out there, you need the 1,000 hours to get your license, to attempt to get your license. There's a two-part process. So you take a written exam, a written state board exam, and then you take a practical where you actually showcase your talents on a mannequin in a very, very specific way. So you need that 1,000 hours. That being said, Ms. Blackman had talked about we do have a summer program where you can opt into it. It is for a fee, but it gets you closer to that 1,000 hours, and you can do it the summer between your junior and senior year to get 95 more hours. And then there are opportunities outside of the classroom, so long as you have teacher approval and it falls into a category of what's approved to grant hours, and you have a little bit of proof that you did it, you can earn hours that way as well. And Ms. Blackman was saying that she typically has at least one student a year that has the perfect attendance and goes the extra mile and graduates with their 1,000 hours, which is really impressive and honestly the best way to do it because then you don't pay a dime. However, oh, go ahead, Ms. Blackman, you were going to say.
No, I was going to say there's plenty of opportunities for the students to take, but they often do not take it.
Yes.
They don't tell their parents about it. I let the students know all of the time, and they don't show up. Sometimes, they're high school students. They don't always want to do something outside of school.
However, they're there. So if you're ready and raring to go, those opportunities are there for you to take and get those free hours. Um, Other than that, you could go on to workforce. Our workforce development, Erie One BOCES program, has cosmetology. It's fantastic. And you could finish up your hours there. But again, it's not free like it is during your junior and senior year. So that would be, I don't know if that's a really long answer to your question, but that is the answer. Um, there is one other thing that I wanted to touch on if we're going backwards. Ms. Blackman, what is really the difference between getting a cos license, a cosmetology license, and a barbering license? Is there something that we can do as cosmetologists that barbers can't, that like set us apart, or?
We do permanent hair color. Barbers could do hair color, but they cannot do permanent hair color. Barbers can shave with a razor, but cosmetologists cannot shave with a razor.
Right.
So pretty much they're kind of similar, but
Mm-hmm.
barbers can't do manicures and pedicures and facials, not to the extent that we do. So
Sure.
I think that's what sets us apart. It makes our umbrellas bigger.
Yeah, and the focus is different, right? So with barbering, they really focus on short, taper cuts, fades, and we as cosmetologists kind of focus on
Got
longer
it.
cuts, color, texture changes, things like that, right?
Correct.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
What is like one thing, if you can think of just one, right? I'm sure you could come up with a list after teaching for a while, but what's one thing that really will make sure that a student in your program is successful? Like one character trait that they have?
They need to be a team player. They
Oh,
definitely
okay.
need to be a team player.
Hmm.
When you're in this industry, and that's the biggest thing, I work in the salon still. So um, you have to work together. You can't work against each other. You always have to work together. And sometimes you don't want to always work together. You'll have days where it's not fun, but you still have to be a team player. I think it's very important. And you have to have really good communication skills. You can't just assume if you're working next to somebody and they're making a mess and it's driving you crazy. They don't even know that they're doing that. You kind of have to politely, say, hey, can you just pick this up a little bit in a polite way. But definitely be a team player and good communication skills.
I love that. Love that. Feel free to ask any other questions. We're kind of, I don't want to say we're at the end, but we are winding down. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free. If you want to unmute yourself and just pop in, if it's too long to type, totally get it. Go right ahead. But Ms. Blackman, since you still work in a salon, this is not, you're not like out of it. You're very much in the salon life and the atmosphere, and you're using these skills every day. Are there things that we see now popping up as trends that we can take and put into our curriculum? The one that really like sticks out at me is like hair painting or balayage.
Actually, right now it's called the merm. It's a man perm.
Oh, so that's what's in.
So it's
Okay.
called the merm. And they just get the top of their head permed, and the young boys are all coming in for those. And they're paying good money for it too.
See, there you
The
go.
merm.
That's
Yeah.
important. Very important. Oh, we talked about makeup a little bit. I know a lot of people are interested in like makeup tutorials and following all of that stuff kind of on YouTube. How much do we get to do makeup? I know COVID makes it really difficult, probably impossible, but
Mhm.
again, if we're talking about ideal world for next year, um, what do we get into with makeup?
We dabble a little bit in makeup. The Harkness Center does get to do the fashion show, and they do the hair and makeup for the fashion show.
Mm-hmm.
I used to do that when I was at the other center that had the makeup, the fashion show.
Mm-hmm.
So we dabble a little bit in the makeup. Our students that go to the ice show get to do the makeup. We did makeup for Kiss, the band Kiss. The students did that. And
Wait, what?
yeah, not we the ice skaters, the disabled ice skaters were
I was
ice
like, but I
skating
want to know Gene
to
Simmons.
this Kiss music, yeah. So
Yes, okay.
we did the makeup for that, and that was a lot of fun. That was probably our most fun that we've had in a while with makeup.
Yeah.
Right now, our salon does a lot of wedding parties for makeup.
Hmm.
So I have actually, better students I have pulled to come help when we've needed help, and they have
Nice.
come into the salon and help us.
Nice.
And they get to participate in wedding parties with me,
Very
usually,
cool.
if we have enough.
Do they get hours for that?
They do. They get hours.
Oh, look at that.
Anything extra, they get hours,
Look
always.
at that. So it totally is possible to leave with 1,000 hours and take that written exam and all that good stuff.
Oh, it's
Um,
absolutely. It's just the student has to have the drive to do it. And if they don't have the drive to do it, then they do it later.
sure. So I
But
know there's one last thing. We keep talking about this exam, right? And that it's two parts. Can you talk about because you're an examiner?
I'm a state board examiner also.
Can you talk about the state board process and what's on the exam or what it's like to take the exam?
The exam, the students stand for about 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And that's generally a challenge for young kids
Mm-hmm.
because they think that's a long time, but I guess when you work in a salon, you stand 12 hours. So,
Yeah.
you know, I don't get a break in the salon, but they do a state board set, they do a full haircut, they do a razor, using the razor on the haircut, they do a mock chemical relaxer, a mock color retouch, a mock foil, I'm trying to think, a blow dry, and a thermal styling. And I can't examine my own students, but there are other people there examining it as well. And pretty much we know when they walk out how well they did, or how we don't know for sure if they passed, because we're not privy to that information. We just put they did it right or they didn't do it correctly.
Right.
So it either has to be done 100% correct, or it's, yes or no. So I prepare my students, and as well as most of my colleagues, I believe we all do. We prepare them very well to be successful at the state board exam. I very rarely see a student that doesn't do well at the exam that was an Area 1 BOCES student, unless they had maybe poor attendance, or they didn't make the extra initiative. I know all the teachers have offered additional help, especially during this pandemic. We all offer additional help. Can come in, we'll help you. Unfortunately, right now we're not doing the testing. The state's not doing the testing, and then they have to pass that. And the written exam is 100 questions, I believe, multiple choice. Every student has a different test. Some students have tests that's full of science questions. Some students have real easy questions. You never know what you're going to get. So we prepare them with that and are reviewing during their senior year. And we also have a review book that we provide for our students after they've left. Usually it's a printout, and they can come back and ask us for guidance before they take their test. And most of them pass.
And you can take it as many times as you need, right?
Yeah, you can take it
Until you pass. I distinctly remember that my cosmetology exam was all science and nail questions.
Oh yeah, sometimes it. Yeah.
So, but I was prepared. I was ready to go. Which is all you need to do, is just prepare. So we have just like another minute or so, if anyone has any questions. But otherwise, thank you so much for talking to me, Ms. Blackman, about our cosmetology program.
You're welcome. If anyone wants to see my student salons, you can probably look them up. Like I said, Deluso Salon. Then there's one, PJ's Barbershop. That's one of my graduates. That's also a barber. And Crown.
Type them into the chat.
Okay, and then there's Crown, and then there's Hoot LA Organic, Aveda Salon, and Blow Bar in California. She has and then my other student's a director of Skyline Beauty College in California. Then I have these students are. I have another student that owns Rock Paper Scissors. I don't know if she has a website. Just some things you can look at. But I have students at all kinds of salons, Locks, our salon, everywhere.
Oh, our salon on Transit?
Yeah, I have a student that's there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I have a student that's a mortician or makeup artist too.
Oh, that's actually a really lucrative career, and I could talk about that for a really long time. Because I have that special effects makeup degree, and that was kind of what I focused on. But that would have to be a different talk for a different day.
She has 5 children, so it's actually a very nice job for her, because she could just go in, and do it when it's convenient.
Right, exactly. So, well, thank you for talking to me, and yeah, awesome.
I'm all good.
You're
all right.
Good. Thanks, Ms. Blackman.
Bye.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
So I think we